hello, and welcome to my stream. I am Mark Takeshi Ota, and I am a voice actor, I think. And I think I voiced a character in this beautiful game called The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I forgot which one it was, but it's one of them. One of them. Fancy shirt, Carlin. Do you like it? Do you like it? It's daytime here, 3:30, and I have now darkened my room only to light it again. But it's actually really nice sunshine outside, but then the glare will be like in my eyes, so I'm feeling a little bit like a vampire, you know? It's like, all right, outside light, go away. I'm gonna have fake lights in here or something, you know? But I already went outside for a walk, so I'm feeling very good. Walk and things like that. I'm a voice actor? Big nude. Is it big nude, Stream Sams? I thought you meant news. That's right. That's right. How y'all doing? Welcome. Oh, welcome, Poggy Pocket. Oh God, I'm getting drowned in emojis again, in emotes. Thank you very much for the gift subs. It's so appreciated. Your continued support for the... I'm drowning. Help! I'm drowning! I don't know what's happened! And El Carlin, thank you so much for the resub as well. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of your lovely people's support. Thank you so much. Drowning. Oh gosh. I need to get some static in myself to is it? It's a little bit too much cordial in my static today, I think. But here it works. Here it makes me disappear. Depends on where I go. I'm doing a little bit of a different time today, so I was curious to see how that works for people. But why not? Why not? Hey, He Himmel just resubscribed. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We have like new first-time chats in the thing again. I saw pop up. That is so sweet. Zippy3651 finally able to catch a live stream for once. Thank you so much. If only for a little while. Little while is fine, you know. Little while. That's what VODs are for. If you wanna have more of it, you know. And we've got Zerumaru as well in the chat for the first time. Welcome. Who else we got? We got so many lovely people. Scribblenator might actually finish. You might actually finish while Steam with. Oh, okay. A whole stream. See, that's why I gotta read the next correction. You know, it helps something. You know, 11:30 at night because time zones. Yeah. See, that's why it's fun to sometimes do a different time. You know, because then people that are normally not able to at all, like if you're in the one doesn't say Eastern Hemisphere, right? It's just Northern and Southern Hemisphere. And then we would need to ask the Moon Queen probably to tell us what that is, because I don't know anything about moons and stuff like that. But hello, all you lovely, wonderful people, whether you're chatters or lurkers or one of our beautiful mods, El Carlin and Tysa, are holding down the fort today, and all of you are welcome, you know, in my silliness extraordinaire. And we also we have our partner with us today again to give us encouragement. Dio is also here, but I don't think I've worked out that they both don't fit on here together, do they? That's just a little too. Or maybe they do. Do they? What if I just two here together? The two of them working together. Just stack them. I think it'll be too fragile. It might fall apart or something, you know, if but now you can't see Dewshol's face, but that's okay. That's okay. Look at him sitting there watching over us, you know? Watching over us. Kazuma tsum 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 tsum. Little guys, look at little guys. I'm super excited that, first of all, that spring is coming, which means I can wear like short sleeves. It's like getting warm. I don't know what the weather is where you are, but it's nice that it's actually getting a little bit warm out. Which, well, warm is a stretch. It's still just like 9-10 degrees, but it's sunny and it feels warmer. So that's pretty good, isn't it? That's progress, I would say. It's absolutely not warm here. I think that's in Canada, is it? Is it just never warm in Canada, isn't it? You're too far north. You should have grabbed another Susato Tsum Tsum while you were in Japan, so you could have her for this first case. Ah, that's okay. She's here in spirit with us, you know? So happy for spring, Nifty. Yes, indeed. Me too. Me too. So exciting. So excited. I'm also really excited to it's not the second game of Ace Attorney. The second game. I can't believe it's number 25. Number 25 of my streams. Balloons for that. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening to my... What's going on? What's going on? Why are there no reactions? What's happening? Why is it not responding to me? It doesn't like me anymore. What? Oh my god. What's happened? What's happened to all our reactions? That is so upsetting. I'm using my iPhone and everything. It's probably a thing of having to turn it off and on again or something like that. But that's but that's still upsetting. Okay, I guess my phone doesn't want to do reactions now or something. Balloons are here in space. It's devastating, Akami Floss, isn't it? Isn't it devastating? Uh-oh, reactions are gone. I guess we'll have to fake it. We'll have to fake reactions. I don't have any balloons. I don't have fireworks in my room. I have a very, very, like, not really fully blown up sword that can work as a sword. Yeah. So we can just hurt people with it if somebody's bad. I've also, so last time when was it? On Wednesday, I played around with not using a green screen. Somehow it's I like it, but it's also nice when I can get kind of see-through and you don't, you know, like and stuff. And so I'm gonna use the green screen for now again, and then. But let's see. It's okay, Mark. The Twitch chats. You got me. You got me with. Oh yeah, you can make balloons appear on the screen.
Very good, very good. We found the solution, my dears. Ah, we found it.
Do I have some helium, Alkaid? I mean, technically it is a balloon. You're right. The sword is a balloon, right? Because it's blown up, but it doesn't rise up, you know, unless I lift it. But anyway, I'm really excited to play the second game of Ace Attorney, Great Ace Attorney. I don't know about you all, but yeah, I'm very excited. And I do, there's like some cutscenes in it which I voiced, so I know obviously those things that are happening, which are, you know, spoiler alert, you know? Not spoiler alert, I'm not gonna say it, but don't spoil, don't spoil things, that's what I wanted to say. But there's still so much to explore, you know, like I like how things happening that are happening, and I'm very excited about it. So jumping up and down. Sheol, didn't you just say that you're like really sleepy because it's 7:30 in the morning, and now you're jumping up and down like sleepily in bed? All right. Well, I'm gonna go then to this screen, and then as I switch scenes, I don't know why this keeps happening, but it just celebrates our gift subs again from Poggy Pocket. Oh wait, how did I also? Didn't it give me new emotes? How do those? I don't really know. Oh, and there's also a new emote from Wait, where is it? The angry Wukong emote? Shouldn't that also be here somewhere? Where's the angry Wukong emote? Oh, there's the angry Wukong emote here that Miss Dorkenstein made. Who is our resident bully for Wukong. Oh wait, no, I feel like this should be a little bit louder. Oh, No, but now the tombstones disappear. We don't have enough space for all of it. No, there we go. This'll work. Angry Wukong face. Really hope the train Wi-Fi stays consistent. You can watch it. Yeah. Let's hope for consistent Wi-Fi for all of us. That'd be good. I'm so upset that this doesn't work. I need to figure it out. Anyway, it's what is the meme? It's Ace Attorneying time. Ace Attorneying time. Episode 7. Oh wait, did we wanna? There's also one more escapades we can do. One more escapades, I think. Yes. And then we go straight into game number 2, right? Because this is still before game number 2. All the escapades are before number 2, right? If I remember correctly. So we can do this one, and then we go straight into game number 2. When the Ace Attorney is great. This is an escapade of all time. Oh, there's a teeny tiny corner of my green screen. Thanks for noticing. God damn it. That's what happens when you don't have like a fixed camera and a fixed setup. Then it just kind of moves around always. Thank you so much. And then I can extend this a bit, and then we have a little bit more of. See, look at that. Look at that. We have whole of Ryu now in there. Boom. Perfection. Perfection. We figured it out. Date unknown. The Old Bailey Courtroom. I always forget which styles. Oh, what's happening here?
This court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
What did Herlock Sholmes do?
This is a most extraordinary case of murder.
Counsels,
I assume I may proceed.
yes, my lord. The defense is ready. He does look like a vampire, doesn't he? Look at him. It's like,
I've just woken up. Ah.
At your discretion, my lord. Wait, what is the vampire on the Kellogg's?
1, 2, 3 Draculas.
I don't know.
Very well. I hereby call on the prosecution to introduce the case.
What is the case? Tell me. Tell me what's the case.
The incident in question took place 2 days ago, late at night, when the ground was blanketed with snow.
I want to turn this down a bit and this up a bit, I think. I feel like compared to the game, yeah, this feels a bit better. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm going to do. The location of the incident was the residence of the accused, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Indeed. The now famous address of number 221 B. Baker Street, was it?
The address may have enjoyed fame once, my lord, but will henceforth endure the infamy for this grim crime.
You traitor Greg Z.
Yes, sir. Well put. The victim, a certain Madame Rosie, was found asphyxiated on the accused's sofa.
Oh dear. Where is this going?
My word.
But it is unclear as to whether the victim was actually killed in the defendant's suite or not. After all, when Mr. Sholmes left the room for only a brief moment, Madame Rosie somehow vanished herself out of his room completely.
Vanished herself, counsel? The victim?
Quite true, Sholmes. Quite true, my lord. There is but one adjoining door between my drawing room and
kitchen. What are you doing in this game, kitchen? How strange.
Yet, having brewed some tea in the kitchen, I returned to find the room completely empty.
There was nobody else present?
Ordinarily, my fellow lodger Iris would have been at home. However, on the day in question, she had been invited to a meeting of a scientific society in the city. I'm afraid you have a propensity for exaggeration, sir. You claim the victim vanished herself, but really, it seems to me entirely plausible that she chose to leave via the main entrance to your suite.
That seems plausible, doesn't it? But plausibility has never been one of our strengths, has it?
As it happens, my lord, the door of the accused's room was locked at the time from the inside. Very true, Inspector. As such, I can say with considerable surety that the victim did not leave via my front door.
But what about some...
Aha! Yes! She could have snuck out through a window.
Objection!
What do you want again?
The windows in the room were not locked, it's true. And the victim had the opportunity. However, there was snow all around the building outside, and not a patch of it had been disturbed. Silence. Would my learned friend care to explain how the victim could have left without leaving a trail?
I don't know, could have turned into a bird and flown away.
So the victim, Madame Rosie, somehow vanished from the scene before she was killed. Naturally, I was alarmed by the sudden disappearance of my guest. So I summoned this gentleman who resides in the attic room above my own, and we took a cab to Scotland Yard. I can confirm that the defendant called for me, and I saw his suite on my way downstairs. And yes, I'm quite sure it was empty, just as Mr. Sholmes has said. When we reached the yard, this very detective happened to be there. Yes. You see, I was just in my office for a while, having got back from some important business.
And then, having explained the situation to the inspector, we travelled back to Baker Street together. At that time, there were no footprints in the snow around the building other than the ones we'd made.
Do I take it then, counsel, that you personally witnessed the scene where the incident took place?
Did I... Hey, Carox, did I sound so done with Baron Van Zeek's BS? That's funny. Yeah, I am. I am done with his BS. Because you know what? We've had like 3 court cases with him, like, as the prosecutor now. Is it 3? And like, he's always wrong. He doesn't, it's like, he's... Well, okay, he was actually right with what's his face? Magnus McGilded. Whoopsie. Anonymous, finally get to watch a stream again. Well, welcome. Thank you for streaming up. You're very welcome. I have something to go to tonight, and I thought, like, you know what? I don't want to skip it altogether, so I'm gonna just do a little bit of an earlier stream, And I remember there were some people commenting at some point that were from Australia or something like that, and for them probably it's a much better time then. So there we go. No, my lord, I went straight to bed in my own room in the attic. It's so sad that he lives in the attic.
Inspector Van Zeeks. Inspector Van Zeeks. Gregson. I just think of other people as me because I'm the most important person in the room. Can't you tell? Because I'm so pretty. Inspector Gregson, however, was met with the most blood-curdling sight. On Mr. Sholmes' sofa, the vanished Madame Rosie, motionless. So the victim was already dead when you discovered her, Inspector. No, my lord, not dead, but not far off it. She mustered all her remaining strength to say these dying words. That rotter, Sholmes, will be the death of me.
That is, Not looking good for Mr. Sholmes, is it? Quite incriminating.
Ah, yes. I overheard that remark at the time, too, delivered in a rasping voice, full of malice.
No.
Those words indeed proved to be her last. The victim expired moments later, there, on the sofa. The cause of death was identified as damage to the respiratory tract as a result of strangulation. Oh, Van Zieks has some trouble saying some words, eh? Damage to the respiratory tract as a result of strangulation. I think he's a little drunk. I think Van Zieks is a little drunk. Pray, does the accused dare to contest my good English pronunciation? The inspector's account? Certainly not. In fact, the inspector has done an unusually fine job of summarizing the salient points. Sholmes will be the death of me. Damning parting words indeed. For once, man actually drank his wine instead of throwing it into the gallery. Indeed.
Indeed, my boy.
Boy? What is it? Come on, boy.
I'd love to have a voice like, oh shit, what's his name again? God of War. So deep.
So deep. Come on, boy.
I can't do it. I'll destroy my voice.
In her final moments, the victim named her killer
Kratos.
Kratos.
No, I was gonna... The name of the actor. Judge. Chris Judge? Is that his name? Yes. Obviously, I knew it's Kratos. God of War is Kratos. I meant the actor. The actor. Who I love. He's amazing. I watched him in Stargate SG-1 growing up, and I loved that show and his character in it, T-Alk.
You, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
But the defendant had no reason to take the victim's life. Well, sometimes people do it just for fun, you know? Unfortunately, because people are crazy. And let's be honest, Sholmes is a little bit crazy. But is he crazy enough to murder someone? Look, I've made a little smoothie. Oh, look, and the top is green, so it disappears. Isn't that cute? Very healthy. Lots of fruit and some protein. Very nice. Very nice and very healthy. Perhaps you could tell the court, Mr. Sholmes, who exactly this Madame Rosie was. Yeah, who was that? Is that your girlfriend, Herlock? Was it your girlfriend who then hates you? I'm sorry, she's dead, so I shouldn't be talking about her so cute. I apologize. Yes, of course. Did I have never mention her to you? I extended an invitation to her. Oh, actually, like, if this is invisible, how does it look when I drink it? Is it like the juice? I can't really see it. But does it like, I can't really see it. Like it comes from nowhere? If I do it like this, does it look funny? I have to look back at that later. But does it look like the smoothie disappears and then reappears? I have to look at that. What's the time code? Where are we at? I don't know the time code. I'll have to find this later. It's 4 o'clock, so it's been 30 minutes in, roughly. So it's like, I thought like it makes the juice disappear and then reappear. Magic trick! I'd extended an invitation to her that evening, though she is loquacious in the extreme. Loquacious? What a loquacious word. The most trivial, 2810. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. The most trivial of matters quickly becomes a quarrel. I was only too pleased to leave her present to make tea. Great. That sounds good.
It would appear then that the accused did, in fact, have a motive for silencing his heuristic guest permanently.
Well, just because she was annoying? Putting that tenuous motive aside. Thank you, dude. That, like, very tenuous. Very tenuous indeed. What about the other mysteries surrounding the case? Huh? Baroque? Barog Van Stupid?
I'm inclined to agree with the defense. There remain a number of inscrutable details.
Robin the Red Fox says Sholmes would kill someone to test the effects of a bullet on a body and then to determine how the body decomposes. It is all in the pursuit of science. Wow. That's a pretty dark view of our Sholmes, but maybe not entirely incorrect.
The victim's alleged disappearance and subsequent reappearance, leaving no trail of footprints, for example.
That's right. The crime described by the ouch. Wait, this way I have to go. Forget. The crime described by the prosecution could never have happened. Never, ever, ever. It's impossible.
Yet the victim named the accused in her dying breath.
Ahoy, 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 Ogrimmar.
It seems to me that my learned friend has overlooked a significant detail here.
Nonsense! What have I overlooked, huh? I am a genius. I don't overlook anything.
The man in the dock, the so-called great detective, all too frequently makes the following.
Who are you talking about? Oh, the as in Gregson makes the following bold claim. Oh, no, obviously Sholmes. There is no crime beyond the realms of possibility.
No mystery beyond my powers of reasoning.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Sholmes, you will have no difficulty in explaining how the crime thus described could have taken place. Therefore, I propose a toast to the great detective upholding his name.
But of course,
were I to put my name to the matter, the crime would immediately appear to all present to be entirely feasible.
please, Mr. Sholmes, whose side are you on? All you need to say is no. I can't even, even I can't think of a way that a crime like that could have been committed.
Let the accused's admission be noted by the court.
It's not an admission.
Though the crime may appear impossible to us mortals of inferior mental capacity, this man alone claims to know exactly how it was done.
Hold it! I feel like we need to bring Fruity Baroque back. He's being fruity. He's being so dramatic.
Thank you, counsel. I believe I've heard more than enough to proceed to my adjudication. The accused great detective did, in some inscrutable manner, willfully murder the victim, Madame Rosie.
What? I therefore find the defense. No, come on, we're not there yet. Oh, what? Wait,
let this man be
wait, has he literally just admitted it? Wait, what's going on? What? That's not an admission. He says, were I to put my mind to the matter, the crime would immediately appear to all present to be entirely feasible. That doesn't mean I did it. That doesn't mean I did it. That just means it's like I'm smart enough to have done it, but you still got to prove that I did do it. That's not fair. Court is adjourned. Okay.
Hold it!
Oh, thank fuck. My lord. Please. The truth about the mysteries surrounding this case are known to another besides the great detective. Yeah, what's this? That's not fruity, that's just whiny. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you are coming along wonderfully. Oh, upon my word, is an upon.
You've deduced a fundamental truth about this case, I believe. Yeah, which would be? Detective? Come on, tell me. Oh. That the truth to this case is known.
Wait, what? What's happening?
Only the true culprit, obviously. Is that not so, Gregson? What? Well, I suppose, yes, well,
You don't mean... Are you suggesting, Mr. Sholmes, that you have an idea as to what actually happened that night?
an idea? My dear fella. I could explain the entire incident from start to finish with not a single detail omitted.
Objection!
It seems...
no.
It seems...
I don't know what I'm doing with Van Zieks today.
It seems the detective has failed to grasp the situation. Yeah, this is what I like right now.
Pray.
Mr. Reaper, which of us has truly failed to grasp the situation, I wonder? Then answer me this. You claim that prior to the incident, the victim suddenly vanished without a trace from your room. If so, how exactly did Madame Rosie disappear? Tell me, I don't know. Why, naturally, via the window. It was ajar, after all.
But that can't be. The room is a whole story above street level, and anyway, no prints were found in the snow. She just flew away.
There are any number of ways one could avoid leaving tracks in the snow, surely.
Such as... What?
She's flying, see? I knew it! She turned into a bird and just flew away.
That is exactly what happened. I called it. I called it ages ago. I know this game in and out. I've got the tingling attorney sense now.
Such as flying, for instance.
I've got it.
A fatuous notion, but I'm not fat. Look at me. I'm working out. I'm Barack. I'm not fat. And to where do you propose the victim flew, Mr. Sholmes? I don't know how that would work. Is it not entirely plain? To the culprit's abode, of course. For, having left my suite, that is clearly where Madame Rosie was murdered. But not by me, just to be clear. Not by me, by someone else. Take a moment to consider the cruel irony, if you will. By her own volition, she flew directly to her death.
Objection!
Do you forget, detective? The victim's corpse was discovered on your sofa, so what do you think? No doubt, because her killer carried her back there.
But what about the lack of footprints in the snow again, then? There just weren't any. Other than our own from when we returned home ourselves.
If by our footprints you referred to your own and mine, you are quite right. But there were those of another. On the night in question, there was one other person who could have conveyed the victim to my sofa. Conveyed.
I didn't know that you can use that word that way. Like a conveyor belt, I guess. Conveyed. What's up, Paradise? Hello, hello, and welcome.
What?
Good gracious.
Oh, wait, I forgot to read. What did the judge say?
What did the judge say? Oh.
Good gracious. To whom do you refer, sir?
A man whose somewhat unavailing presence at the scene of the crime would be questioned by no one.
Availing? You don't mean, what do you mean?
Indeed, I do. A man who hastened to the scene directly upon learning of the incident at Scotland Yard. Namely...
Isn't it right? Is he accusing... He's gonna accuse me now, isn't he? He's gonna say it's me. He's gonna say it's me. I know it. I know it. Oh, no. Inspector Gregson. I got it wrong. I got it wrong. Hello, hello, Catgirl Rasputin. Rasputin? Rasputin. How's it going? Rasputin? 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 I forgot how you say the word. In German, you say Rasputin. I think. Is it English? Rasputin. I always get confused by pronunciations. I thought he was going to accuse me, but instead he's accusing... When you arrived at my address on Baker Street, you were carrying the half-dead Madame Rosie with you. You waited for a suitable opportunity and then laid the victim on my sofa. What was what? You mean the sound that I'm making? I'm Mark and I was wrong. I'm singing the Mark Wrong song. There's no such thing because it rarely ever happens. So there's no need for a song. It's just a one-time occurrence. How dare you, NEJ Live? I'm almost never wrong when it comes to gaming. So good. Internet's working, Mikanax. Very excited for you. Very excited. And I'm very excited because I've since I've laid all that 50 meters of cable through my house and connected the Ethernet to my laptop, I've never had any internet issues whatsoever. It was only ever OBS or Twitch, right? But we were with the inspector when he arrived. How could he possibly have been carrying the victim? We would have noticed. My dear fellow, a most obvious answer presents itself, does it not? The inspector is rarely, if ever, without his overcoat. The victim... Oh, no, that's Shum. Sorry. They're showing Gregson, so I thought it was Gregson. The inspector is rarely, if ever, without his overcoat. The victim was simply conveyed in one of its many pockets. Don't be silly. That is silly. You're being silly. Very, very silly. When this game is usually so serious, right? I fail to see what makes this detective great. But I can say one thing with certainty. I'm going to give him a bit of a soft voice now. A human body cannot fit into the pocket of an overcoat. I believe you may have fallen foul of a rather significant misapprehension. What? Madame Rosie was not a human. What is Madame Rosie? Is Madame Rosie like a mouse or something? I beg your pardon? Mr. Holmes. What? Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Something troubles you, perhaps, maybe, possibly. Whatever gives you that idea. Exactly what sort of creature was Madame Rosie? Is it not apparent already? A parakeet, of course. Huh? A most self-conceited specimen, in fact. Parakeet? She was incessant. She was an incessant talker, I must say. Her manner was quite intolerable at times. Oh my god, so she did turn into a bird? Because she was a goddamn bird. My genius is so ahead of myself that I knew that before it even happened. Chef's kiss to my genius. Won't to turn every conversation into a quarrel. I thought to strangle the creature on more than one occasion. Do you think we're gonna get sued for wasting the court's resources on a bird? Well, I mean, I don't know. Is it? It's still illegal. Actually, we looked this up the other day. I think some animals, you are animals that are considered like vermin or something like that in the UK, you're allowed to kill, right? But like mice or something, and I guess bugs or whatever. But some animals you're not. I don't know what parakeets are. I don't know if you're allowed to legally kill them. Because they are an invasive species, aren't they? I don't know. Not that I would want to, just to be clear. You know, I'm just talking from a pure legal perspective, okay? Just legally speaking. Just let's just be clear on that. I'm not advocating for any animal killing, okay? None whatsoever. I'm just saying there's legal framework. I'm gonna move on. You had a quarrel with the parakeet. But of course, why else would you have chosen to fly from my window so uncordially that evening? To the abode of the inspector here beside me, no less. Uh-oh. To Inspector Gregson's abode. But why? Because that was the parakeet's home, naturally. What are you... What? So does Gregson not know that he had a parakeet? The inspector was called away from town for some days, so it was arranged that I would look after the bird. Oh. But it would appear that she was overcome with a sudden yearning for her keeper. Aha! Thus, prompting her flight from my comfortable suite to the inspector's office at Scotland Yard. Well, Gregson, I believe it's high time you explained. Gregson is such a dodgy fella, okay? He was happy for Gina to go to jail because he didn't like I understand you don't want to break freaking secrecy things and stuff like that, but you still gotta make sure that innocent people don't go to jail. And now he's letting he just let the judge say Sholmes is guilty. Gregson is a terrible policeman, and I just don't like him. Don't like him. I mean, Baroque and Gregson are on my naughty list, okay? So, if I was Santa, they would just get an old shoe. Just an old dirty shoe, just to be clear. All right, give us your account of what happened that night, sparing no details, of course. So dodgy, that fella. I don't like him. Inspector Gregson? Come on now. You're making you angry. It was an accident. Yeah, and you let Sholmes be spoken guilty. Announced guilty. Terrible. Terrible. I got back from being away that evening, you see. I just walked through the door of my office. I never imagined Madame Rosie would be on her way back to the yard as well. I slammed the door shut behind me, just as she was trying to fly through it. So, Madame Rosie? She got sandwiched between the door and the frame and fell to the floor, never to move again. What a waste of our court's time. Well, I will never. Involuntary bird slaughter, yes indeed. I had to do something, and just when I was trying to think of a plan, you fellas arrived talking about some incident at Baker Street. I had to hide Madame Rosie in a hurry, so I stuffed her in my coat pocket and got in the cab with the pair of you. Okay. What could possibly have motivated you to behave in such a manner, Inspector? Lord Strongheart, sir. What? Lord Strongheart? Please tell me I didn't hear that right. It was the Lord Chief Justice who asked me to look after the bird in the first place. She'd been living with the pigeons at the Supreme Court until then. But apparently the other birds had started to pick on her. So for the past 6 months or so, I've been carrying her in my office at the yard. I see. If anything happened to that bird, just imagine. Well, but isn't she dead? No pay and no time off for the rest of my career. You mark my words, that's what's gonna happen. So you were happy
That man.
because your career? That's why you lied. You bloody bastard.
With the victim's dying words, Inspector. The court heard earlier that Madame Rosie spoke the name of her assailant on the deathbed.
That rotter, Sholmes, will be the death of me.
Indeed, she did. Quite uncalled for, wouldn't you agree? But those words are your true feelings, are they not, Inspector?
So because he's jealous of Sholmes, he wanted him to be guilty of murder? Oh, one of these days, Gregson.
Clearly you speak of me, often at your office at the yard, in this disparaging manner. A manner that the merry parakeet took much delight in mimicking. Ridiculous.
Well, come on, I mean, have you read this month's edition of Rand's magazine, eh? I'm sorry. This is all absolutely true. I think, frankly, Gregson belongs in jail, doesn't he? Doesn't he belong in jail? I think he belongs in jail. Something wrong, Lord Van Ziggs? Yeah, you are a criminal. Perjury and all that shit. What did I drink? I'm drinking a smoothie. This is a smoothie. But also, it has a green top, so it's like magic. Hold on. I'll still have to look that back. Does that look like magic? It disappears and then reappears.
Something wrong, Lord Van Ziggs?
No. Nothing. You didn't disappoint me at all. I almost drifted off for a moment there. Oh. This is a Van Ziggs special, is it? The two of them speaking.
It's hard not to drift off, honey, when you've been kept waiting 3 hours already.
I wonder if we'll manage to meet with Lord Strongheart at all today. We may have to deliver the report on the Winterbank's case that he asked for on another day. Tell me, Inspector, what became of that bird?
Ah, Madame Rosie, you mean? Don't worry about her. Don't be jealous. She had a narrow escape, but she's still alive. I delivered her back not long ago, actually, on Lord Strongheart's orders. He's hoping the pigeons will accept her now, but I will accept you always, Barrock.
It was something of a shock to hear that she'd been crushed in the doorway of your office. Especially as we were all under the misapprehension that Madame Rosie was a person.
I'm sorry about that. It was Long Strongheart's demand that, you know.
Ah, good. You're here. I don't know, it's just felt right.
I apologize for my tardiness. I'm exactly 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 57 seconds late. Oh, no, my lord, please don't trouble yourself. No, nothing gives us greater pleasure than standing here doing nothing for hours on end. We didn't do nothing happened. Heartening. So, let's hear it then. Your report. Report indeed. The Winterbank trial is concluded, but this is far from over. It seems that dark, Far Eastern lawyer and I have some shared destiny. We will meet again. Of that, I have no doubt. Did you see that, Lord Van Zeeks? Ah, did you?
Madam Rosie went flying off him. Oh, I didn't see it. Among the pigeons there, happy as Larry she was. I didn't see it. Really, Inspector? You must be relieved. Happy as Larry. Happy as Larry. Don't you know Larry? He's a very happy fella. So it's good to be happy as Larry. Well, that was, we are ace aficionados. We did all the escapades. What a way to wrap up indeed. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the next adventure, and not a new game. Wait, do we load, or does it make a difference whether or not, no, what is the last save game we have? What is it? I don't know. 2, 6. Wait, do we load, or do we 2, 6, 9, 29, 56? So this is the last save game. But that is just the case 5. So we just go straight to, right, we select adventure. Dun, 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 which is, Because it'll let you pick between game 1 and 2. Wait, what? Wait, I'm confused. What? Huh? Where do I go? Oh. Ah! Ah. Wait, so do we... I can just pick all of the things? I can just pick any of them? What do I do? Do I press new game? Or do I just do adventure? I don't know if it makes a difference. Doesn't make a difference, does it? Okay. Episode 1. Wait, what is this? Oh, that's the final chapter. We're not going to go there. I can press new game. Okay, I like pressing new game because that's exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready for the next episode of The Great Ace Attorney number 2? And my reactions don't work, so we don't have balloons. I'm so sorry. But we are ready to continue a new game, which is Great Ace Attorney to Resolve. And it will be completely in musical form. Wouldn't that be something? I'm just kidding. It is not. But here we go. I have such a beautiful singing voice. Thank you very much. Oh, the cicadas. We're back in Japan. I miss the Japanese cicadas.
Standing here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean. Those days in London seem like a dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital. You know, he's flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer.
Arigato.
I've no doubt that at this very moment, he's fighting some noble cause in court.
I am.
Forgive me for taking so long to come to visit you.
No.
My life has been such a whirlwind since I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after arriving home.
What? What?
No. Jim Jams.
So I came here today to ask something of you. Tomorrow, I shall be standing in court. For the only time in my life. As a lawyer.
Yay! To the door!
Gems.
Oh, she's dead.
So please,
Oh,
I ask for your guidance.
Sorry. She kind of deserved it
Christmas.
though. She's a bad one. She's a racist and a murderer, so
Episode 1, The Adventure of the Blossoming Attorney, yeah.
I told you, musical.
hmm.
Whee! Susato! Are we playing Attorney as Susato now? Is that what's happening? 13th August, 8:26. It's 4 days after my birthday.
Oh, what's going on now? Bergs Fuchsstuhl. I was just saying hi and everybody becomes Arnold. That's just crazy. 13th August, 8:26 a.m. Supreme Court of the Judicature. No, what do you mean all no? We all love the Arnold, okay? No one disrespect the Arnold, okay? The Arnold is the hero of mine, so he shall be honored. He shall be honored. And it's okay. Arnold lesbians. Arnold, like, is this all good? Supreme Court after the Judicature. Defendant, don't worry. If it's getting particularly serious, the Arnold will take a back seat. Because as you all know, Arnold, let's be honest, doesn't make very serious movies. It's all like just for the silliness. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Also, yeah, it's just how it goes. I am Susato. Here I am again after 9 months. Supreme Court of Judicature in Japan. I feel so nervous, but it's okay. I've just done a workout. I feel very strong. I must still my nerves and my muscles and find a way to compose my strict deadlift form. Yeah, good you're here. I'm your dad. It doesn't do. I'm your father. That I feel like this is how like if all the characters voiced by Arnold, you know, that's how it goes. It's just like no range. It's just all the same. Ah, good you're here. I'm your father. It doesn't do for a lawyer to be. It doesn't do for a liar to be late. Oh yes. Good morning, Dad, sir. I mean yes. I hardly recognize you. You can't define figure, counsel. Yeah, you're my daughter. But you look as white as a sheet. And those white eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Let's take some makeup and put it on your face. Yeah. Oh dear. I didn't like that makeup, Arnold. I mean, Dad. Like that, now I look so silly. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous. I feel utterly nauseated. But it's okay. Sometimes when you do a strong workout, you have to throw up. That's just how it works, okay? Happens all the time. I almost wish that I'd never been born. Oh, goodness. No, not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say. Yeah, no, sad. But don't worry.
Eugene Mikotoba, professor of medicine at the Imperial.
This is because it's in the head of at the Imperial Yuma University.
A man who earlier in his life traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science.
Because when Arnold is thinking, he thinks in the voice of a 17-year-old woman.
And of course, my brilliant father.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, it's me. I'm a person. Would I be correct in thinking that you are to be my lawyer in court today? Yes. Yes, that's right, miss. Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me. And I won't do this because I will hit the microphone with my head. I swear on my life. It's a complete fabrication, and me almost attacking you just now should not be taken as any sort of evidence that I'm a violent person, because I'm not. This whole thing is just a fabrication.
Ray Membami, born the same year as I, and my greatest friend. Though unusual for a woman in our time, she works at the University Research Laboratory, helping my father. And sadly, she's the defendant in today's trial, accused of committing a truly awful murder.
Yeah, are you feeling alright, my good friend? Ray, since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flushed. Oh my! It's just that, you look so, gallant and, dashing. Sorry, me? Arnold? I mean, Susato, I don't know what you mean. And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful. Oh, goodness.
Ah, goodness. I don't think she knows. She hasn't realized who I am?
What? Yeah, it would seem I'm your dad. I mean, our little plan for this trial is going to work. Oh, what do you mean, Professor Mikotoba? If even your best friend can't see through the disguise, yeah, I think we can relax. Disguise? Yes, yeah. I've never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father. Father? What are you saying? That's crazy. Is that you? I'm so sorry. I didn't say anything. Wait. No, what are you doing? What's going on?
I want to know what Susato looks like now. It's not fair.
That varsity uniform, that varsity cap, that varsity cape, that varsity badge. Look at you. You look for all the world just like a student of the Imperial Yume University. A male student.
Wait. So she thought it wasn't Susato. She thought it was some male student that she was trying to hit on? Is that what's going on here? Was she trying to hit on her lawyer?
Yeah, I'm so glad you think so. It means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke at 4 this...
Because she was saying, like, when you look at me, I'm so bashful. Initially, I thought... But maybe she secretly is just sensing that it's Susato underneath there. She is charmed by Susato's appearance. Indeed.
It means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke at 4 this morning to make a start. First, I did a 10-mile run around the, university. And then I did push-ups and pull-ups. And now I'm feeling very strong. And I'm ready to do this case because I've been working out. Can't you tell? Yeah, my biceps are so strong. And my triceps as well. And even my forearms. Look at my forearms. My forearms are particularly strong. And I'm very proud of it. So, yeah, it's good.
But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that?
Well, you see, I'm a boy now.
We have out-Arnold the Arnold.
It was the only way. The only way she would be permitted into the Supreme Court to take on your defense in this trial.
My defense?
Well, Susato is trying to be a boy now, right? So, and boys obviously talk like that with a deep voice, right? Never before. But this is her head voice, so it's okay. in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body. Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside the courtroom. Despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike. But women are forbidden. Just
for today, I'll believe in my true self at the courtroom door, so that I can act as your lawyer.
Oh, Susato, you'd go to such lengths for me?
Of course, you're my greatest friend. I just worry that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve.
Oh no, I have complete faith in you.
Ray, are you a Jedi?
It's so strange, though. I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already. And yet, just because you're a woman, what a wretched reason. I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in court? You're so gallant and dashing.
Ray, please don't look at me like that with those, flushed cheeks and doubting eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you really do look so dashing.
Yes, you mentioned that once or twice.
It's so confusing. It's also confusing.
You should be pleased. It means you look convincing as a man.
Well, we don't know that, Mr. Mikotoba. We don't know if that's the reason. Just saying.
I am pleased. I think it certainly helped me to bolster my confidence today.
I'm gonna give her a different accent. Ray. It's in her head, so it's fine. You're managing to put on a brave face in all this. But I can see through it. I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped and how you're trembling ever so slightly. Susato, you do believe me, don't you? I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder.
Of course.
You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. Isn't that right? Yes, it is. Perfectly clean. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence, which is why I'll stand by you until the bitter end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll be on your side. Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer. That means so much to me, Susato.
Defendant, counsel, court is about to begin.
Proceed to the courtroom at once. It's time for court time. It's time for court. Time for court.
You should go in at once, Ray. If you are late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty. Oh, gosh, that's a bit harsh. You're late, you're guilty. Immediately.
Oh, Stand aside. Who said stand aside? Oh, she runs in because she doesn't want to be guilty. I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast.
Well, Susato, you've certainly surprised your father. Going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom, and with no prior experience of being a lawyer.
There was simply no other way. That's all to it. That's all there is to it. But father, you haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming that Ray doesn't know how I came to this.
Yes, quite right. I've kept that information from her. It would only worry her if she found out that no other lawyer would agree to take her case. I didn't want to burden her with that.
Why couldn't Mikotoba have taken it? Isn't he a lawyer? And is it true? The reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case
Is it really because of who the victim was? They are all afraid, are they? We should be making a move now, too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I'll do what I can to support my student. Thank you, Father. Okay, time for court.
I'm Sato Mikoto, a judicial assistant. 8 months ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain. But 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan. How many times have I wished that he were here, I wonder? Still, I have no choice but to steel myself from the trial ahead. The trial ahead, that's the one. Wish me luck, Naruhodo-san. Wish me luck indeed. "13th August, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom number 1.
Hey, Nifty, you're so excited. So excited. I like it that you're excited. I'm excited too. I think that should be the new spelling of excited. Let's all be excited together.
This court is now in session to hear the trial of Ray Membami.
The prosecution is fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency.
Wait, where's my fan? I don't know where I've put it. Where's my fan? Oh, my fan is up there. Let me get my fan so I can be full ouchie. Full ouchie mode unlocked. Oops. Full ouchie. She is cute, isn't she? Ouchie, Ouchie's in the house. All right. I'm gonna eat some nuts. I feel like eating some nuts. Have your nuts. Nuts are good for you. Nuts and fruit. Unless you're allergic, then they're not good for you. Oh, I forgot. Nuts involve a lot of chewing. No. Forgot about chewing. That's why drinking is easier. You're being trolled. You can't stand the texture of most nuts. I think nuts are delicious. Anyway, look at this, that's all.
Defense counsel, are you ready? We are indeed.
Yes, Your Excellent. Oh gosh, I just did Mikoto. I didn't know he was in here as well. Wait, is he now the judicial assistant? That is all very confusing. I'm very, very confused. Hold on. So,
Mikotoba is like up here. Yes, Your Excellency. We are ready.
ready.
Ah, yes, Counsel. According to your registration details, your name is, Ryutaro Naruhodo. Ryutaro? She came up with a name that's basically my name? Naruhodo? Is that correct?
Sorry? Yes, I had to come up with a suitable male name for you for this little venture. So I'm afraid to say I simply put down the first name that sprung to mind. Wow, you really know what you're doing, Dad, don't you?
Well, Counsel, Yeah. That's right. That's me. Yes. I am Ryutaro, he who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan. Ah. It seems Ryutaro may need to consider how better to uphold his manly act first and not overdo it. And those wild, wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Just relax and listen. Wait, what's going on now? We just had Arnold. Who? What's Barrack's footstool? Are you like upset that oh, Arnold, Ouchie should be Arnold? Okay, I'm actually cool with that. But are you upset that Baroque is not in here? So you're just like, now that Baroque's not here, let's everyone else be Arnold, because at least it's not Baroque. At least it's not Baroque. Is that what's going on, Aye? Anyway. And those wild, wide eyes aren't doing anything. Okay, just relax and listen. Relax and listen for a while. Naruhodo?
Yeah, fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I was just outside the room, but I'm okay. I'm now inside here. I have got a new haircut. What do you think? I think it looks really good. I mean, here, doesn't it look really good? Look how good my haircut looks. Yeah, fresh face in the courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
You know what would be absolutely amazing and would blow my mind and make me lose faith in technology at the same time as it just being awesome? If Ouchie summons balloons on the whole screen and, you know, I'm not able to summon balloons, but Ouchie can, that would be like both really amazing but also upsetting. Because for those who were there at the time, that is what happened. The first time balloons were summoned were by Ouchie. It wasn't me, it was Ouchie. I didn't summon any balloons. It was Ouchie. Ouchie started this. So we kind of, even though we hate Ouchie, we also love Ouchie for that, right?
Yeah, what the name? Naruhodo. That could perchance be. Yeah.
You may be thinking of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain as part of a study program. This is, his cousin. That's right. Ryutaro has been studying in the provinces, but was called to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in matters of law, his knowledge rivals that of any of Tokyo's preeminent lawyers. Any of them! I'm smart!
Tut. What a pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused has to call in a country boy. I might also be a country boy, but at least I'm a country boy with big arms.
How dare you? Susato is every bit as gallant and dashing as any of your Tokyo attorneys.
Oh, Ray, shut your mouth. Shut up. I won't be. You also shouldn't say her. Oh, yeah. You're just a silly person.
What do you mean,
Please be careful, Ray. Hold on, I need the sound as well. Hold on.
Yeah, what an unrefined tomboy we have here. I'm trying if I can do Ouchie's voice, but with an Arnold accent. Is that a possibility? But I wonder, is your gallant dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending you? His widest British eyes very much suggest that he is not. What's up, Ube Cat Gaming? Welcome to the channel. I'm sorry that I sound like a gecko on drugs. Yeah.
I'm so nervous. Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, eyes are wont to flit. Ah, she understands now why that keeps happening to him, right? She understands. She understands why his eyes keep going.
The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our national interest. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may well affect the very future of our empire.
Yeah. Yeah, just like the child 9 months ago, and you're
I think I'm breaking. I think I'm starting to break. My brain is breaking. My brain is breaking. I'm yelled for proceeding of such important. I'm my uncle by the dog, dear me.
Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense, to determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom, because I am super competent, clearly, as you can tell by how good I talk.
Can you not hear my words? You cannot hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do we know the reference? Do we know the reference? Do we know what movie that was from? Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? No? 10 points to whoever gets the reference. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you do, maybe you don't, which is fine. 9 months ago, and a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now. There we go, Robin the Red Fox, 10 points. Booyah, booyakasha. Oh, Jaja.
Jaja, Misa wanna play. This the same judge that said him as well.
How about that? Mikotoba is now Jaja.
And even though he was just a law student at the time, not even of law, he passed Misa test with the flying colors. For the experienced judicial assistant like you, no worries at all. Misa likes a judge. So, counsel, do you intend to answer some simple questions?
Oh, I'm cutting out my mic filter.
No, that's too loud. Maybe it's a temperature.
I don't know. I maybe I have too many filters on my mic anyway. I don't know what filters I all have. But maybe I just need to talk like a normal person. I'll have to listen back to what did it sound really weird? I don't know what's going on. all right. Back to the game. Enough with me playing. I can't sustain all of these voices for 3 hours anyway. It'll all go mad. All right. It's time to prove myself. Back in the room, everyone. I just needed some face slapping. And we're all good. Yes, Your Excellency. But please do make them simple.
He lives! Kitchen has arrived! Well, to start with, you will state the name of the victim, Kitchen. What's the name of the victim, Kitchen? Come on now, tell us. Do you know?
Ooh, that is simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried. Oh, thank you. You like my shirt? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Come on, Kitchen. Tyler? I mean, it's your favorite person. It's your... Okay. Actually, let's... Because Kitchen's just arrived. It is one of our favorite people. Favorite being sarcastic. From the early days of the game. From very, very early days. Come on, Kitchen. One of our favorite, wink, maybe not favorite, people from the early days of the game. There's a name that comes to mind. One, it starts with a J. It starts with a J. Come on. No, it starts with a J. You can do that. Come on, no, don't tell anyone. Tell kitchen. No one tell kitchen. Jar Jar? It could be Jar Jar. Oh, also, I'm having some. Jeffrey, no, it's second letter is I. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You put it on bread. You can do it, kitchen. Chat believes in you. It is a name that we gave to that person. It's not the original name. It's not the original name. We gave that person a nickname. A nickname that was born of hatred. Born of hatred. Jim Jams! I would give you balloons, but I can't because for some reason it doesn't want to do it anymore. You did it, kitchen. You did it. You know things. Oh, look how that armband is way too big for Susato. Way too big. What's the matter? Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not. Minds are won't to blank. What is up with this whole I won't to? That's very Shakespearean we're going here. It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in this position and in that guise. Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter a little under the circumstances. Very good, Grain. Very good indeed. Oh dear. This is a dismal failure. Don't fret. You need only use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome the problem. Of course. The court record. Yes, the answer will be amongst all the key information about the case in the court record. That's right. Just use RB to open the court record. Then, you know, okay, so is this because, like, the second game, some people might just play the second game, so we need some instructions again? Is that's what's happening, isn't it? Then you need to flip to people section, and don't take too long of it. His Excellency is watching you closely. Yeah, take out your controller. Oh, by the way, I've got a new controller. Look, it's purple. Isn't that pretty? Because I realized my previous controller, I was playing another game, and this thingy, this joystick, like when you pressed it down, it didn't do anything. So I was like, oh, that button is broken. So anyway, yes, favorite color, best color. All right, check the court record with RB. Okay, that's where the information will be. Okay. There it is, the victim of the case. Yeah, I've got it. No, wait. No, what? Oh, examine this. Fine. It says it in here as well. Single deep stab wound from behind, piercing a lung and resulting in a fatal hemorrhage. Death would have occurred within minutes. Extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, was observed in the victim in both eyes. Very interesting. Okay, can we can't present that, but we figured it out now. I've done it. I'm waiting. Okay, counsel. What is the name of the victim in this case? It's Jim Jams, actually, Judge, but she's also known by Giselality Bretadoldi.
Yes!
Ooh, that's cute. Yes! She's raising her hand. The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Ms. Jimajamady Boodly Doodly Jazzly Daddly Baddly Brett. There we go. We figured it out. She's a lally-librettilty. A name that will never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country. I'm sure. Jazalala-librettility. Correct. And being a member of our empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name. So, let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain.
Why then is her name indelibly associated with our own empire's judicial history?
Because she was a murderer.
Obviously, you won't have forgotten that case from 9 months ago. But if it's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record.
Obviously, I still remember. That was the start of everything. Shizalalibraletalty. Behind the woman's student persona was the face of a killer.
Yes!
Yeah, she's a killer, all right. We still got more pelon. Oh, there's more stuff that disappears. Pelon. Oh, I have to also give some of these to Mia. I keep forgetting. Don't worry, Kitchen. Mia's gonna get them. I forgot them when I brought them last time. I still don't know how to take this off. Hopefully I'm not gonna get a finger cramp again like last time. Bleh. More hair. Yummy. 9 months ago, a visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed. Yes, and also the signed picture. Indeed, Kitchen, she will get it all. And the culprit was Gisela Jim Jams. Yes, she was a killer. At the time, our country had just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain, and it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. Eileen, gotta go and break your fast now, and Ramadan Mubarak to all, yes, Ramadan Mubarak to all the Muslims in chat as well, yes, indeed. Wait, you say at the end of it, you say Eid Mubarak, right? So, but anyway, have a good time breaking your fast, and I hope you have some good food. I believe he was an associate of yours. Yeah, I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor Mikotoba. Yes, I was indebted to the man. He'd been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic medicine. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor at the university. Naturally, the murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter the government wished to resolve rapidly.
Indeed. Indeed it was, which is why a secret trial was conducted here at the Supreme Court.
A secret trial? Why was it secret? A student of the Imperial Yume University was arrested on suspicion of murder. It was us. A second-year English language student by the name of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, with the help of his best friend, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense. And exposed the despicable crime committed by Miss Jim Jams. Her name doesn't deserve to be uttered properly. She doesn't deserve it. Kazuma and you, see, they're here. They're still together. They're still together as Tsum-Tsums. Their spirits have been put into the Tsum-Tsums. Miss Jim Jams
Eventually admitted to her crime. However, when questioned about the motive that drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, she gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion.
Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play. We were unable to sentence Miss Pratt according to our empire's laws. It was decided that she would be removed to Shanghai, China, instead.
Why Shanghai? There's a British consular court there.
Correct. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon only last week. All that remained of our Empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board a steamship.
And yet, the very day before her departure, the Englishwoman was killed.
Only the day before?
That will do. I'm satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant.
Oh, thank you, Your Excellency. Over the first hurdle.
Done it. Now, a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Ouchie.
Okay, I will ouchie it as you wish, Your Excellency. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th August in broad daylight nonetheless. On the outskirts of the imperial capital, under a bright blue sky, at a secluded bathing spot by the sea. The incident occurred inside a small beach hut, erected for bathers to rest or change their clothes. So pretty, isn't it? The cause of death was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung. An injury which proved fatal. There were 2 persons alone together in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death. Miss Jim Jams in her bathing attire, and the accused, Ray Membami. Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt.
Circumstantial? Objection, circumstantial.
There can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she had a powerful motive. The police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady.
You saying motive? What motive? Tell us her motive.
Well, that extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say.
That's certainly true. The prosecution's summary was full of words that raise an awful lot of questions. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about a powerful motive.
Yes, tell me about that powerful motive.
You're clearly exaggerating. Powerful motive is a blatant overstatement.
Tut. Is the yokel boy using long words he doesn't fully understand?
I beg your pardon?
No matter. Let's put this to the accused, shall we? Membami-san, you are a research assistant at the Imperial Yume University, I believe.
Yes, I am. I'm working with Professor Mikotoba in his laboratory at the moment.
I can confirm that. The defendant is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility.
Fascinating to hear. Now, another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikotoba, where's my fan? Whose research were you assisting then?
I was studying under Dr. John H. Wilson.
Dr. Wilson? The visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brett 9 months ago.
Yeah, but that's not proof. Still circumstantial, isn't it?
The accused had a deep-seated respect for her former mentor, Miss Dr. Wilson. Is that not true?
Yes, Dr. Wilson was a wonderful man.
Interesting. Then tell the court what deep-seated feelings you had towards the Englishwoman who killed him.
Well, obviously she's not gonna like her. Doesn't mean she killed her. Well, obviously I was filled with hatred for what she'd done. A powerful hatred. Oh no, Ray. Be careful of what you're saying.
Yeah, not looking good though.
Not looking good. Yeah. It is hatred is a good motive. I have to give Ouchie that. The motive was revenge, plain and simple, Your Excellency.
Well, it was clearly a trap all along. How wicked of him to use Ray's underlying respect for her full mementa against her like that.
I must find out more details and something we can use to bolster our defense. We do indeed need that. Okay, I need a quick loo break though. So I'm gonna take that quick loo break and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'll see you all in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere, and you can talk about. Did we ever talk about what our favorite birds were? We already did, didn't we, at some point? But we just had the parakeets. So, talk about what's your favorite sea creature? Your favorite sea animals. That is the topic of toilet conversation now. There we go. Say favorite sea creatures. And we're back. And I put on a little jumper because I was a little bit too ambitious with thinking I can just do short sleeves. What have we agreed on? Do we have a favorite sea creature? So many sea creature. You missed the parakeets though. Creatures, that's meant. Mr. Turtle, jellyfish, Barrack's footstool. You like jellyfish? But they like bite you and stuff and it hurts. Magikarps, sea cucumbers. Are they edible? I don't know. Spider crabs, pretty cool. Orcas, pretty cool. Giant octopus. And seals. I have seen seals before, actually. And I've seen whales in the flesh. Squids, octopuses, seahorse. Seahorses are fun, though very confusing as creatures. I don't really know. Penguins, do they count? Maybe. Marine birds. Yippee, woomy. Woomy? I don't know what a woomy is. I don't understand that. I like bug. What is a woomy? I've never heard of that. Is that a real thing? Woomy? Jellyfish don't bite you. They sting you. Sorry. That sounds like it's painful. Your favorite sea creature is Mark, because we get to... Oh, sea creature as in... Kitchen. Very punny. Very, very punny. Are you calling me a creature, though? I mean, okay, we're all creatures. Creatures of some sort. Creatures of some... Very punny, Kitchen, innit? Very clever. Very clever. I appreciate it, though. Very, 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 very appreciate... Very, I appreciate. Very, good with the words. Time for some more sugar. And then back to the game. Okay. Where are we? What, as a lawyer, I ought to pick the, what did he say? So we just, okay. So, powerful motive, we done that. Being alone together, and the bathing spot. Fine, okay, being alone together. What's that all about? Why were they alone together and Memban-mi-san? Yes, what is it? Oh my god, can that woman not just... What, you outing us, Ray? Just take a chill pill. Naruhodo-san. There we go. You got it. Correct yourself. I'm really starting to wish we'd made my alias Ryutaro Susato. Yeah, that could have worked. Also would have been a bit dodgy, though. I mean, it's also like her dad is right next to her and like nobody notices that or something. But anyway. Please tell the court why exactly you were present at the bathing spot with the victim in the first place. She is trying. I'm sorry. I'm being nice. I apologize. It's a lot of pressure being accused of murder, and she did stop herself. I'm being understanding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just didn't want her to out us like that in public, right? And why were you alone with her? She's 16. Okay. I'm sorry, Chad. I'm sorry. I take it back. Ray's doing fine, although she's always like in a fighting stance. She's always ready to fight, isn't it? Oh, well, no, that's not true. It wasn't like that at all. There were other people present, a detective who was guarding Miss Jim Jams for starters. I was just asked to accompany Miss Jim Jams as a companion, that's all.
But let us be clear. At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim in the hut. You and no one else. The truth is, there's only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Jim Jams on her bathing sojourn. It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's life.
No.
Because, as we know, the following day would see Miss Jim Jams extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai. And the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again.
Kindly refrain from conjecture, counsel. The prosecution counsel seems to enjoy using provocative tricks like that. But for now, at least, we need to assemble more facts. Try not to let him goad you. Not very wise.
Patience, young Skywalker.
Oh dear. This is really terrifying, but Father's right. We need more information. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel and what he said about... Right. Then, last thing standing. Thank you, Stream Elements, for that reminder. Oh, thanks for the follow. Cursed worms. Cursed worms indeed. If I may, Prosecutor Ouchie.
What do you want, you fresh-faced young yokel student?
I wonder, could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot?
My apologies. Clearly my modernity has confused the poor country bumpkin's simple mind. Bathing spots are the very last trend in health practices from the West. We are told that bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skins.
No, that's not what I meant. I was referring to the fact that Miss Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder. Why would a known criminal have been relaxing by the sea?
For old time's sake, I believe.
Sorry?
Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day. Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy a day at our country's wonderful coast. And the British Embassy put extreme pressure on our government to comply.
But on what grounds would we agree to such a request? Very true. Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign powers. In matters of diplomacy, it seems we don't even have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal.
Don't look at me, Professor. It was the government who granted permission, not I. In any case, it was decided that with a dedicated detective on duty, nothing could go wrong.
And nothing did go wrong, did it? But in fact, a murder took place.
I said don't look at me. I'm ugly. It was that young student girl who did it, not I.
No one has proved that yet. I wouldn't provoke the man if you don't need to.
I believe we all have a clear picture of the incident now.
Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Miss Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the university. Obviously, over that period, she and Ray would have encountered each other on a number of occasions, seeing the murderer of the mentor for whom she had such great respect enjoying such undeserved liberty. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Why was she allowed to do that? Yes, even if it was only temporary until Miss Brett's extradition to Shanghai. You can hardly blame Ray for her feelings of anger and resentment. No, you cannot blame her at all. Poor Ray.
So, Your Excellency, if you'd be so kind as to peruse this exhibit. A photographic print that shows the scene of the crime immediately following the grim incident.
Yes, thank you, Counsel. A tragic image.
As you can clearly see, there is nowhere within the hut that anyone else could have hidden. No one indeed.
The court will accept this photographic print as evidence.
The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record.
As I understand it then, the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time. This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant.
Well, Your Excellency, naturally the prosecution has much more to its case. Oh dear. Oh dear. We intend to prove the accused's appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm that we have multiple witnesses to the crime and damning evidence.
God, it doesn't sound good, does it? Witnesses, although, you know, in the past, your witnesses were pretty shit, Ouchie. So I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried. We're gonna get Ray acquitted. We will. Mm-hmm. Gonna be fun. Don't stress. Gotta go make lunch, NEJ Live. You enjoy your lunch. Lunch is good. Lunch is great. Lunch is amazing. Ooh, something spicy hit me there. Oh, there's Mexican spice candies. All right.
One of whom, I might add, is a highly respected police detective.
Oh, is Hosonaga coming back?
I assure you, the testimony of these witnesses leave no room for doubt.
Very well then, Counsel. Bring forth your witnesses.
I, Taketsuchi Ouchi, have been waiting for this moment.
Sorry?
Oh yes, I haven't forgotten that trial 9 months ago here in this very courthouse, when that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me.
Well, thanks for bringing it up now. I mean, no one asked, but clearly we've been living rent-free in your head.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? Yes?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten.
You've become conceited with age, Counsel. But the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. Oh, he's pulling his sword. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Why? Oh shit! He's the reason that his hair came down, and he never found another hair tie. He never found a hair tie ever again. He was like, oh, he's cut my only hair tie. Oh, cursed worms. Welcome. Welcome, Kazuma. Kazuma says hello, our little Kazutsum. Strike the head of a samurai whose top knot has been cut, and the bell of cultural enlightenment tolls. Yes, on that fateful day, my former self died. Oh gosh. The start of your own mini Meiji revolution. Are you modernizing as well, Counsel? Silence! Since I swore revenge back then, you're just talking about accusing someone of revenge, and then you're saying you swore revenge. Like, I feel like Ouchi should immediately be dismissed as a prosecutor. That is just, you can't just be talking about wanting revenge because you lost a case.
legitimately lost a case, I might add.
There's been a minor miracle atop my head. Observe the ouchie growth. You see? You see this seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown?
I think that tiny growth is trying to tell me something.
Oh, these writers.
I'm afraid I can't really see. Where is the hope exactly?
I said silence!
Today, I face another yokel student of the Naruhodo clan. Well, I will vanquish you with my tiny little growth on my forehead. And my victory will be fertilizer for the seed of hope atop my head. You have been warned.
With that, the prosecution calls the witnesses to the stand.
It looks like the stakes are high on both sides in this trial. It doesn't need to be high because Archie, sometimes you lose a case. You don't need to cry about it. Jeez. Or you can cry and then move on. You don't need to think like your whole existence is damaged. What a silly man. The prosecution and the defense each has much to lose. The haircut is hardly comparable to Ray's life. Thank you. The growth is actually a tumor. You gotta get that checked out, Ouchie. Very, very, very true. Marshall K.
Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court.
Oh, we've got our favorite sea creature, the turtle.
Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Imperial Police Bureau. I'm in disguise, obviously, so I can go undetected.
What? Oh, Lord. And I am, well, the next big thing in books, an author renowned throughout the capital, in fact. Yes. Our Soseki's bed, soon to be sold out as satirical I Am a Cat, a sensational success by Soseki Natsume. Oh my goodness. Struggling student from the provinces, please, you... What just happened? Okay. Struggling student from the provinces, please. You needn't be in awe of me. I needn't? Okay, I won't then. I won't be in awe of you then. It's only natural that you'd feel nervous in my presence, but all of you please relax. Call me Soseki even. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm not that famous. Yes. What on earth is Soseki-san doing here? Tread carefully, Susato. That author fella knows you from your time in London, doesn't he? If he exposes you for who you really are, this will be over before it's begun. Father. Yes, of course. I know. Last bits of sugar coming out of this. Look, it's just flying in mid-air. I presume Soseki-san won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget him. Although he does seem to have changed somewhat in the 6 months or so that it's been since I last saw him. Yeah, he became full of himself. And as for Inspector Hosonaga, that amazing outfit is hard to believe.
Do I have something on my face?
Well, your glasses for one, although they don't seem to be helping you see. Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either.
Oh, I suppose it's this excellent disguise, is it?
I thought that appearing here in the clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony. It is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly. He's not bleeding from the mouth anymore.
Well, I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present. But what business did a writer such as yourself have being at the scene, Soseki-san?
Ah, well, you see, I had been asked that day to give a lecture on the morning of the incident in the Imperial Yume University's Grand Lecture Hall, no less. At Yume University. After the lecture, I had a very pleasant conversation with a researcher from the Medical Science Department. The professor over there, in fact. With Professor Mikotoba. Oh, my father, no, not my father.
Yes, that's right. It was arranged by one of the newspapers.
They wanted some story or other about 2 former students who'd studied in Great Britain. Of course, being a renowned author, the press never leave me alone. I'm a celebrity. They secretly spy, snapshots, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy. Even in the courtroom, crazy. As you can see, the conversation was written up in this newspaper here. Read it at your leisure, my provincial struggling student friend. I have plenty of copies. And I'm rich because I'm famous. Thank you very much. He practically threw that paper at me. Gosh, he's really full of himself. He became... Well, how did he become so full of himself? Is that what happens when you, like sell a lot of books? Maybe? Mm-hmm. Who knows? Who knows? This Soseki Natsume article has been entered into the court record. Anyway, following my interview with the professor, the lady in question appeared and made a very unexpected announcement. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. Those were her words. As I explained before, Miss Brett was never taken into custody. She continued to work in my laboratory under strict surveillance, of course.
At which utterance, the university immediately contacted the government to seek guidance. And the response was, permit Miss Brett to go, as long as a detective accompanies her.
That detective I am at liberty to divulge was me, Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga.
Thereby, the entire party departed cordially for the seaside, it seems.
It was extremely challenging to clear all the other members of the public from the vicinity of the beach.
Ah, there he is. He's coughing blood again.
But fortunately, I am at peak physical fitness at the moment, so I was able to carry out my duty flawlessly.
Flawlessly. Oh my. Inspector, you do have something on your face now. Some blood. How unsightly. I do apologize. Does that mean that you were... I'm a little peckish today, aren't I? This is a little bit of a... Wait, do y'all use peckish? Or is it like a very British expression? I think it's a British expression, isn't it? Gotta run, Akami Floss. Well, thanks for coming, and don't run too fast. Don't fall over. What is this one? This looks like a huge grape. Look what a big grape. Kind of a strange colored grape. Does it look like a poop? I don't know. Tastes fine though. Yeah. Nom 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 nom. Cyber Dreamer. Hello. Welcome. I hope the day's going well for you too. It's going great for me, because I'm playing TGAA 2. Resolve. All right. Wash down the nuts with some good old static. And we're good to continue. Does it mean that you went to the beach too, Father?
No, fortunately I had work to finish off. But unfortunately, of course, it meant that, as my assistant, Ray was invited to take my place. Of course, being a renowned author, I didn't like to decline the invitation. But if only I had, I'd never seen that awful sight. Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret. Very well. I must now ask you to present your formal testimony to the court. You will give an account of all that you witnessed on your impromptu excursion to the coast.
Oh gosh. He really needs to get that bloody cough checked out, doesn't he?
Of course, Your Excellency.
Kind of don't remember exactly how Hosonaga used to speak. Yeah, just guessing.
Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret, I am. Witness testimony.
The witnessed scene. On the day of the incident, I was... Don't let Mark troll you with those. Wait, what's happening? Who am I trolling? Who am I trolling? Let's go to court. Let's go to court. I'm not a troll. I'm a true teller. What? I don't know. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in disguise.
I just managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard a
Cater wall? From behind me. I don't know what the Cater wall is.
I ran to the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question. Oh, yes, that young girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly. Whoa. I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she'd stabbed the victim multiple times.
A Cater wall is like a shout. Oh, thank you very much, Barrack's Footstool. Good with the words. You have a good grain. Very good.
Indeed. It does appear from this testimony that both witnesses here present saw it. The very moment of this heinous crime.
What? Now that's not looking good, is it?
Now, if you will recall, I promised evidence as well. What phrase did I use again? Ah, yes, that was it. Damning evidence.
God, he is an evil villain, isn't he? Like a cartoon villain.
What have you there, Counsel? A so-called fountain pen, is it?
Correct, Your Excellency. I found it at the scene whilst examining the body. It appears that in her dying moments, with a final ounce of strength, the victim clutched a piece of evidence that would positively identify her killer. What?
Your Excellency, if you would cast your eyes over the photographic print of the crime...
I verschlucked myself. Remember all that? Verschlucked. I verschlucked myself.
If you would cast your eyes over the photographic print of the crime scene once more.
It's a word I'm trying to make happen in the English language. I verschlucked myself is when you miss-swallow. I verschlucked myself. Everybody use it. My life goal is for it to become an English word in like a dictionary or something. If I manage that, then my life will have had purpose and meaning.
Ah, goodness me. Yes, the victim is clearly grasping something quite deliberately there in her hand.
That's right, the fountain pen. Verschluckt. That's it, very weird creature. It's beautiful. Oh, actually, I think it needs a C in front of the K also, verschluckt. So it would be, yeah, V-E-R-S-C-H-L-U-C-K-T. But it's fine if there's an anglicized version of it, you know, that's okay. I just need the word to happen. And if you would kindly examine the pen, Your Excellency.
Ah, the owner's initials have been engraved into the ebonite barrel. R.M.
Ray Mem Bami. The initials of the defendant. I'm so shocked.
I mean, I'm sure there's many people with the initials RM. Roger. Is there a surname with M? Roger Myers. There we go.
This fountain pen will be admitted immediately as critical evidence.
Roger Moore. Roger Moore is Mr. Remark Motor. That's not a good name. That's not even a name. James Bond. That is also RM. You're very correct. Yes. The fountain pen has been entered into the court record.
So, have I omitted anything?
Let's analyze the pen since we... Oh, and also the newspaper. Oh. Okay, we've got... Interesting. Will this be pertinent at some point? We've got Kitty on the lap. Is he... That almost looks like he's like punching him in the throat or something like that. Very strange. Oh, I can't analyze the fountain pen. I can't look at it. How rude. I can't examine it, but I can examine this. She has a pen. This is so confusing because this almost looks like an arm as well, the swan thing. She's a pen in her hand. Glass on the floor, bottle on the floor. Interesting. Okay.
So, have I admitted anything? Decisive testimony and damning evidence. There's a bright blue sky outside the courthouse today. Perfect weather to ascribe guilt, I feel.
Silly ouchie. Silly. I don't understand. The prosecutor ouchie of 9 months ago had none of this man's poise.
Counsel for the defense. You may begin your cross-examination now. Naruhodo-san.
Oh, we got Cat the Vampire. Kate the Vampire. Hello, hello. The best character in all of Ace Attorney, Mr. Turtle. He hasn't said anything yet. It's just Hosonaga that's speaking so far. That means... me. I am Naruhodo-san. That's right.
Is there another Naruhodo in my courtroom?
Actually, there isn't even a single Naruhodo in your courtroom. But that is only in my head, so it's fine.
Cousin Ryutaro, pull yourself together, please.
Oh, right. I've seen this countless times as a judicial assistant. Find inconsistencies in the witnesses' testimonies to prove that they're lying somehow. That's all there is to it. That's how a real lawyer would handle a cross-examination. So let's see what I can do. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them because they're accidentally lying, probably. Okay. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special civilian assignment in this disguise. In that jaunty disguise? Correct. How strange. Wait, no. I mean, it wasn't the first time I've worn this swimsuit for a dip in the ocean. It's tried and tested. Do what must be done to keep the English woman under surveillance. Those were my orders that day. And this tried and tested outfit was the answer. Being able to blend flawlessly into a crowd is an important part of a detective's job. I submerged myself in the salty water, leaving only Mr. Turtle floating inconspicuously on the surface. Mr. Turtle loves the water. But there was no need for you to blend into the background on this assignment, really, was there? If that made you late arriving on the scene, I think perhaps you had your priorities wrong. Ah!
He's dying again.
Perhaps I shouldn't pursue this line of questioning any further at the moment. Prime presser for having successfully pressed the witness during the first... Oh, okay.
I just managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard a caterwaul from behind me. I don't even know if I say that right. Caterwaul, caterwaul.
Ah, you're describing the victim's scream, presumably, Soseki-san?
In more literary terms, you might say, it was a scream that could have pierced the heavens. Yeah! One like that. Wait. What did he say after that? One. Or the like. Okay. Of course, that's just a metaphor. We renowned authors are wont to describing things so.
This won't too is like a very popular thing now in the second game for some reason. Soseki-san wasn't at all like this in England.
Anyway, I spun around at the noise and the beach hut immediately fell under my gaze.
Yes, the beach hut.
The area is popular with government ministers. Many have seaside retreats there for rest and recuperation.
Locals are prohibited from entering the area, so it's always very quiet. The beach hut is a simple structure erected as a place for people to change or take refuge from the sun.
Although, the Englishwoman commandeered the hut for herself, which meant that I was forced to change into my swimwear on the sand, like some commoner.
I imagine that was rather embarrassing for you.
Yeah, well, anyway, I tossed the crab aside and headed for the beach hut at a run. Or, in more literary terms, I decrabbed and beetled off hut-wise.
I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question. Wait, by pair, do you mean to say... But how could that be?
No, you misunderstand. Obviously, I mean the victim and the defendant, Rei Membami-san.
Oh. It would have been helpful if you could have just said that from the outset. If you jump to conclusions, you have to expect to fall flat on your face sometimes.
Dear me, pinning your hopes on such an outside chance. Foolish, very foolish.
It really was an outside chance. I just wish I'd realized that before I said something silly.
So, Inspector, why don't you tell the court how exactly you found the aforementioned pair in the hut?
Well, it was a sorry sight. A really grisly scene. I parted the Northern curtain hanging in the doorway and stepped inside only to see the defendant leaning menacingly over the lifeless body of the victim sprawled on the sand. My glasses were very nearly cracked at the ominous sight that met my eyes.
How thoroughly appalling.
He doesn't appear to be lying here. Well, Soseki-san, can you confirm what Inspector Hosonaga is saying, I wonder? You'd like a literary man's opinion?
Yes, that young girl was astride in the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly.
Hold it!
So he actually saw her stab him? Stabbed wildly? You actually saw her do it? Oh, wrong button.
Oh, indeed. The terrible spectre, the terrapin inspector, the bloody torrent, the author's torment. Ooh. Every sight and every sound is still carved in my melancholy memory. That was my impression, at least, as a future literary sensation.
Counsel, what on earth was that shrill, effeminate scream?
No, what are you insinuating?
I am as manly a Japanese man as you.
I wonder if I might interject here, Soseki-san. Something you said is troubling me. That was my impression, were your words just now, I believe.
Ah. So, do you mean to say you're not confident that you really did see what you've described?
Ah. Getting a little nervous, are we?
No, I mean, yes. I mean, I know what I saw. My ears didn't deceive me when I heard that scream, hence, my eyes didn't deceive me either. I could describe everything I saw vividly. I could publish it all in tomorrow's newspaper serial.
It sounds as though the next installment of I Am a Cat may take a macabre turn.
I think this is a fool's errand. The more we press your author friend on what he saw, the more entrenched he's going to become. Oh dear, how awkward.
All right, last statement. I saw blood on the blade. Das Hosonaga. I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she'd stabbed the victim multiple times. Oh no. I just have so many thoughts whirring around in my head. It's all I can do to stand here, wide-eyed and mute. Goodness, my dear. You really must try to calm down. But how am I supposed to find an... Wait, did I not press on the last statement? Did I forget to press? I did, didn't I? Oopsie. For various reasons, mistake. I need to press that. Okay, a delusion. Determine the truth. Okay. Evidence. Yes. Spoken like a truth. We need to do it again. Yes. Okay, I get all of that. You don't need to explain to me how this works. We're pro gamers. We're pro gamers that never forget. That never forget to press the right button. Yes, we're up to the cars. Don't forget. Yeah. I'm a pro. I don't need to hear this again. I need to listen to it again from the start. Yes. We need to just press on the last statement. I got distracted from my brain and then I forgot to press. How did I forget to press? How embarrassing. There we go. Okay, press. She was stabbed multiple times. How can you be sure of that?
Very simply, from the blood on the blade.
The blood?
When I entered the hut, I saw the defendant holding the blade raised up in the air.
So the defendant raised it up in the air. So it means she could have just found it. Yes, that's right. I saw it too.
And I noted that there was blood on the blade already at that point.
In other words,
the victim had already been stabbed at least once by the time I arrived on the scene.
Yes, that's right. I saw it too.
And the victim was already holding the defendant's fountain pen in her hand too. All of which means I can be sure the victim did not die instantly.
Yes, right. I saw it too. He's just agreeing to everything you're saying. Maybe in London was too much for him. He sounds like he's forgotten how to speak Japanese.
The logic of your argument is sound, at least. Well, as I said, it is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly.
Perhaps it should have been your guiding principle to protect the victim flawlessly. That's just my personal opinion, of course. Ooh, throwing some shade. A little bit of shade. And there he goes again. Counsel, will you refrain from mocking the witness? Aww.
Oh no. I just have so many thoughts whirling around in my head.
So I can stand here wide-eyed and mute. Okay, goodness. You really must. Okay. How am I supposed to find inconsistent what these two done? Okay. Okay, so, right. Observation, delusion even, and a delusion
What's important is that we determine the truth, and there's only one sure way to do it. Yes, with evidence. Okay, so now we gotta... Okay, yes, I know how this works. I don't need you to explain this to me. Okay. Inconsistency. Let's find the inconsistency. Scribblenator! Gotta go sleep. Good night, good night. Have a good sleep. That's how you say it, right? Have a good sleep. Sleep well. Okay. There's no one else to do it. Yes. We're defending her. We're gonna find evidence. So, let's see. What, can we actually look at the pen this time? No, we can't look at the pen. Can't look at the pen. We can just have this. So there's not that much evidence we have, but it says here female British ascertained by examination at witness statements. Time of death, 2 p.m. Single deep... Oh, okay. Is a single deep stab wound from behind, piercing a lung and resulting in a fatal hemorrhage. Death would have occurred within minutes. Didn't he say somewhere that it was like... was stabbed multiple times? Where I found the pair in question. Dagger in hand as she stabbed wildly. So that one is probably wrong. She'd stabbed the victim multiple times. They're both wrong. So, okay, there we go. Easy peasy. She's only been stabbed once. I didn't even need to press them on it.
Objection!
Clearly, easy peasy. We could have like speed gamed this.
With that accusatory cry that just welled up from deep inside me, I think I finally understand. Every time Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san have stood here at this bench, the stakes have been very, very high indeed.
What's the meaning of that menacing pose, Counsel?
I'd like the witness to clarify something for me.
Who? What? Where? When? How?
Not you, Soseki-san. This query is directed at Inspector Hosonaga. At me? In your statement just now, you said that the victim was stabbed multiple times. Yes, that's right. As I said when I entered the hut, the defendant was already standing over the victim, bloody knife in hand, like a murderous demon. And yet, that cannot be. What?
Get to the point, please, Counsel.
In the post-mortem report, it clearly states that the victim was stabbed one time only.
Ah.
In other words, Inspector Hosonaga's testimony... Come on, Susato, why you have to do that? Is clearly flawed. And Soseki-san.
Me?
You claim to have seen Membami-san in the throes of stabbing the victim.
Yes, I did wildly.
But both you and the inspector confirmed the same point, that there was already blood on the knife that you saw the defendant holding. Oh, thanks for the follow, Levander Goulet.
Yes, and...
It's quite simple. We know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim only once. Therefore... Oh, and thanks for the sub. I am your magician. Appreciate it.
Therefore, we got, ooh, look at all the, come on, calm down now. There we go. Managed to blow them all away with my,
Oh, what? It's, I'm your magician. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to, I am your magician.
Are you a magician? You didn't see my magic trick, right? I still have a little bit of magic juice left in this. So a little bit of magic for I'm your magician, if you've not seen it yet. Did that work? Is that magical? Because it comes out of nowhere? I don't know. Anyway, that's all the magic I have. Anyway, we know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim only once. Therefore... Oh, I said it on Twitter too. Yes, I did say on Twitter. It's Asta. Is that right? Asta. Happy birthday to Asta. There's no way there could have been blood on the knife if that single stabbing hadn't already occurred. That is you. I'm your magician. People sometimes have so many different names. I'm a simple man. I just use the same name everywhere. It's just simple. If that single stabbing hadn't already occurred. True. Oh, he looks like he's pooping.
Then what exactly is your contention, Counsel? Are you ever going to tell us?
Yes, Your Excellency. There's only one logical conclusion. What Soseki-san in fact saw was not the moment that the defendant stabbed the victim at all, but the moment that the defendant in fact withdrew the blade from the victim's body. That can't be. I mean, she still shouldn't have done that. You know, if you get stabbed, don't pull out the knife. Go to hospital and let them do it. It's very important. Very important. I hope you never get stabbed. But even if it's by accident or something like that, right? Gotta go. Ooh. Oh, Lightbright Reignite. Thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate it. That means there's another hype train coming in. Look at that. Ah! I don't know how hype trains... Is there multiple... You can have multiple hype trains in one stream? I didn't know that's how it worked. But either way. Excellent work. Excellent work, Susato. You exploded at them with that objection and then proceeded to pull them apart systematically. Yes.
Objection! Well. This takes me back.
It takes me back too. This is how the balloon started when he tapped his head like this. But it's not working this time. We gotta make it work again. I don't know why it's not working. They should be active. Reactions are active. How rude. How rude. What is this here? I don't know. Anyway, balloons. Ryutaro.
Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in that trial 9 months ago. A half-witted child with a half-baked objection attempting to steal the show. My show. This is my courtroom.
You're right. There were certain similarities. Except that so-called half-witted child managed to outwit the prosecution, who has only half a head of hair. Ooh, that silver fox is really giving it to Ouchie, isn't he?
Slander, my head is quite adequately dressed.
In any case, all this talk of stabbing and withdrawing and multiple wounds... It makes not a jot of difference. In a nutshell, hype happens when a few people cheer or submit within a small amount of time. Oh, thank you very much, Afterglow Ampharos, for explaining that. Still never too late to learn new things, is it?
It makes not a jot of difference.
Mikotoba flexing his lack of male pattern baldness. Indeed. It's not good to shame people for being bald in general. But if people are dickheads, like Ouchie clearly is, then it's okay. Then it's acceptable. Totally acceptable. What? Why not?
Engage your brain, young man.
Your boyfriend is here with you and he's playing... Wait, what is it? And he's playing TGAA together with you. So you can't... No, enjoy playing TGAA together with your boyfriend. That sounds like a wonderful time. I hope you enjoy it very much and have a lovely birthday.
When the accused first plunged the deadly weapon into the victim, that was the fatal blow. And it was that moment, just as she had withdrawn the blade ready for her next strike, that the witnesses saw. The knife was already tainted with blood because the accused had already stabbed the victim. All you have successfully shown with your little display is that the mustached author is prone to moments of extravagance.
Fine, fine, fine. Fine, fine, fine. That kind of makes sense as well. I am in agreement with the prosecution. As a non-racist bald person, you really appreciate Fravor. See, there you go. Yes, exactly. As long as you're nice, you nobody should shame you for anything, you know? But if you're a dickhead, then frankly, free game, right? If the judge, dickheads, racists, all of that, you know? If the defendant was seen wielding the blade at all, that is sufficient grounds for her actions to be viewed with suspicion. But what if she was withdrawing the blade?
Then we are back where we started.
Sorry?
Consider this, young yokel boy. If the student girl is innocent as you claim, then why would she have pulled the blade from the victim? And with a demon's cold-blooded composure, too. The prosecution demands an explanation, and it had better be good.
Why did Ray pull out the knife? Ah, yes. Going for the jugular. What does father mean by that? Let the court hear your answer then, counsel. The truth is, I don't really know. But I have to come up with a plausible reason here, or we don't have a case. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife blade out of the victim's body was surely so she could... Wait, what? Saint Dreamer 93? Who are you talking about? The Japanese VA did a better job? At what? Are you talking about you? Which, you know, by the way, is fine, like, if you think that, because I think the Japanese voice actors all did an excellent job. But I don't know why he's throwing shade at me like that. What did I do? Anyway, the reason why the defendant wanted to save her life. Obviously, it was to save her life. Stab her again. Hide the knife. Well, hiding the knife, that would mean she's the killer. But maybe she was trying to save her life. I'm just gonna say that. According to the post-mortem report, the victim's death was not instant. That's correct. I thought she would have remained conscious for a short while after sustaining the injury.
Indeed, giving her the time to take hold of this piece of evidence that clearly indicates her killer.
That the point is, being a medical research assistant, Membami-san was compelled to act when faced with the wounded victim. Instinctively, she pulled the blade out in an attempt to save Miss Brett's life. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? It would seem this is the best we can expect of this young yokel. Indeed. Is it just me, or does it suddenly feel much colder in here? Your Excellency, if I may. Is that what just happened? Like, this person just came in to say they don't like my voice. Which, by the way, if that's what you think, fair enough. But I agree, actually. Like, I don't see why you need to come and just tell me that. But, you know, sometimes people do that. They send you messages because and tell you how they don't like your work. In which case, sorry for you. It's a yeah. Oh, my voice is good. Okay, but you just wanted to tell me that you prefer the Japanese. That's fine. That's fine. And I'm good with it, but it's just A little strange to feel the need to come here and tell me that. But you know what, Saint Dreamer 93, that is okay. So you do you. Anyway, we can move on from that. It's fine. No need to come after Saint. It's okay. Maybe they didn't mean badly. It's all right. Speak, witness. And I've dealt with much worse online. Don't worry about it. I would like another opportunity to testify. In respect to the slipshod assertion you just put forward by the Yokel Defense Council, I mean. Slipshod? Tuh. Ah, an excellent idea, Inspector. Our young yokel hopeful has a modicum of knowledge when it comes to the law, it seems. But in matters of medicine, he appears to possess not one iota of common sense.
Very well, Inspector. I will permit your request. You will testify again before the court on the subject of the defense counsel's assertion. Yes, sir. I will do so flawlessly.
Flawlessly. Only vibes. It's all about vibes. It's all good. It's all chill. It's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, innit? Innit, everyone? Forensic medicine primer. Very weird creature. You can confirm people are weird creatures sometimes. They will. We're all very weird creatures sometimes, aren't we? Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. And that is correct. That is exactly what I said. So PSA, all right, if you find someone with a knife inside them, don't pull it out. Don't pull it out. It's dangerous. That's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Didn't you all say that she's only 16? Like, how can she be a medical assistant when she's only 16? That seems like too young. Kitchen, now control your anger. Are you turning into angry Wukong, trying to just stab people for no reason? That's not good, not good. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor. Yeah, that's all very good statements. Good. I can't think of words now. It's very good witnessing. Is that what you just said? Is what you just said true, Inspector? Could pulling... Oh my god. Susato doesn't know. No. Could pulling a knife from a wound really cause the wound to bleed heavily? Susato doesn't know. No. In Ace Attorney, you can be a judge at like age 24. Well, then 16 is really old, isn't it? Yes. Think of the weapon itself as a stopper in the wound that prevents excessive blood loss. That is so good that it's teaching this, isn't it? It's so good that because it's all true. Until a doctor is ready to provide proper treatment, that stopper shouldn't be removed. Very true. This is like some PSA, isn't it? Oh, I see.
This is why yokels should stay on the farm. Even a quack from some obscure mountain village would have such basic knowledge. Anyone who's ever given someone a little poke with a knife and pulled it out again knows.
Wait, have you done that, Ouchie? Because, you know, you shouldn't. You shouldn't poke people with knives. Oh, well, I've never stabbed anyone, you see, or pulled a blade out of a wound, so... Of course you haven't. I didn't bring you up to behave like a bandit. Father, is it true what they're telling me? Yes, it's basic remedial knowledge for medics. Ray would have been well aware of it. If she were to claim ignorance of such fundamentals, that would prove fatal in many ways. But then, why would Ray have done it? Could she have pulled out that knife in full knowledge that it would be fatal for Miss Brett? I don't know. Ray never once mentioned anything about the knife to me. It seems almost impossible to believe, but would my friend actually have...
Susato!
Yes?
Pull yourself together. We mustn't lose sight of why we are here.
Counsel, it's time for your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Excellency.
However, I want to have a sandwich, so I'm going to stop. No, I must warn you that if your cross-examination fails to identify any issue with the established facts, I will be moving to my adjudication immediately afterwards. What kind of sandwich? Oh, a sandwich that I can secretly eat on my judging bench just here. Blah, 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 blah.
I understand. Egg salad. Okay, what's the best sandwich? Believing in your clients and fighting for their cause until the bitter end. I knew it would be hard, but I had no idea it would be this hard. Okay. Cross-examination. Forensic medicine primer. Okay. Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. Just out of curiosity, would I be able to... That's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months. Okay. I was just curious. Would I be able to already... I'm still gonna press, but I'm curious if I'm able to already guess.
Objection!
Oh, no, I didn't mean to press that. Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't. I pressed the wrong button. Pro gamer. Whoopsie. Didn't mean to do that. Just pressed the wrong button. Whoopsie daisy. Okay. Fine. Let's press. You say doing it without thinking could be a problem. Does that mean that if you use due care and attention, it would be all right? If that objection had been correct, I would have been upset because it would have just been coincidence. I wouldn't have thought this needed spelling out really, but the blade is like a stopper in the wound. Remove it and a serious hemorrhage will occur. In other words, a medic would need to be present before any attempt was made to withdraw the blade. But isn't she a medic? So maybe she was trying to solve the problem. Doing it without thinking would be madness. You just can't do it. Oh, well, thank you for such a thorough explanation.
You see, Counsel, when you act without thinking, the result is a bloodbath.
Back to the witness testimony, please.
Hold on. With an ounce of sense or to know. Hold on. Oh, wait, wrong button. I keep pressing the wrong buttons. Evidence of witness statements. Not resulting in fatal hemorrhage, death of extreme meiosis, pupil constriction. See, the pupil constriction is also... Okay, theory time. Maybe she took some kind of eye drops that made her not be able to see very well, hence the pupil constriction. And then she just kind of didn't see and fell over back first onto a knife. and then Ray came in and tried to save her. I mean, that's like not completely unlikely. Look, what do we... She also... Why is she have all these masks in here? There's something dodgy about that. Why is there so many masks? Or, hold on, pupil Can you have pupil constrictions from alcohol? Maybe she was drinking too much. I'm very curious which... hold on. Oh, I can't go to the... Oh, I wanted to go to the place where you can see the people description, but you can't. I can't get there. Okay, so we gotta press on the next one then. Basic medical. Okay. I may want to stay away from eye drops and knives. Well, not any eye drops. I mean, there are eye drops that do something to your eyes like that, right? Not. Barracks Footstool nailed it. I solved the case. Thank you very much. No spoilers. In that case, there's an obvious explanation here, which is clearly the defendant, Rei Membami-san, does not possess an ounce of sense. Is that your defense? What do you think about that, Professor Mikotoba? I'm not sure that you should be labeling your best friend as lacking in common sense. Well, I thought it would be better than labeling her as a murderer. I don't know. Young people today, if that's friendship, I don't understand it. Yeah, me neither.
Holy shit, that's threatening. Chill out, Judge. Careful, Counsel. A lack of common sense can be a very dangerous thing.
Put that hammer down. Oh dear, that recoiled on me rather badly. Yeah, everyone started to threaten her. That's life, I'm afraid. A lesson everyone must learn. Hopefully you can see now that this is really basic medical knowledge. Oh dear. Being involved in medical research, Membami-san would certainly have been aware of it. Okay, fine. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. But she's a medical specialist. The defendant suddenly encountered somebody she knew lying on the ground, bleeding to death. The sight could have shocked her delicate sensibilities, causing her to remove the blade inadvertently. I really don't think inadvertent actions can explain this. The woman is a medical research assistant. I can't imagine she would have behaved so irrationally. Oh, but irrational behavior is a woman's prerogative, isn't it? Susato, come on now. Oh dear. You have a lot to learn about women. Oh, the great Scanado, welcome. I appreciate that you're speaking up against Susato in this occasion as a first-time chat. Welcome. Oh dear. Susato, no. Only a small-minded man could have such bigoted views. Hosonaga, well done. Standing up for women. Oh dear, perhaps I'm letting my male persona take hold a little too much. Oh jeez. She's trying to fit in so much with the men that she's like punching down on women. Oh dear. Well, I have managed to convey the basics now. That should cover the medical side of the argument. Oh, El Khalid, what's happening? Yeah. Oh dear me. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive. Okay, let's press on that as well. Whatever the motive, it just isn't in Membami-san's nature to do something so awful. But she had both a motive and opportunity. That's very hard to argue against. But you don't know the defendant.
Objection! And you, counsel, do not appear to know the law.
Yes, evidence is the only way to convince the court of your argument, not feelings.
With this fledgling to defend her, I would almost say I pity the accused.
So do I.
Inspector, will you will reiterate your point about the defendant's motive, please?
Ah, yes. Miss Brett was, in many ways, the sworn enemy of Membami-san. Okay. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor. Okay. We need to press on that as well. Well, yes, that's true. Dr. Wilson recognized Membami-san's talent and offered her the position of assistant despite her being a woman. She was extremely grateful to him. Yes, the Englishman appears to have been a very broad-minded individual. Dr. Wilson had no time for outdated traditions.
He met with opposition, of course, but he believed firmly in Membami-san's abilities. Clearly, the defendant was in the man's debt, which only serves to prove my point.
This is hopeless. I can't find a single crack in this testimony anywhere. If Rain knew that withdrawing the knife from the wound would threaten Miss Brett's life further, I just can't think of any way to explain why she did it.
So, Sato, it's at times like these when it's especially important to remember the fundamentals. The fundamentals? Evidence is what counts in the courtroom, isn't it?
Of course, but I've been through the court record dozens of times already.
I think perhaps you're forgetting something, though. You needn't take the evidence at face value. You can and must examine it in greater detail, too.
Ah,
I realize this is your first time playing the role of lawyer in the courtroom.
well, it's not my first time.
So, if you need reminding of the rudiments, you need only ask, I'll do my very best.
No, yes, I know. Now I know what to do, okay? Chill. I know what to do. Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo were always turning evidence over and over in their hands. Yes. Yes. Okay, I know I need to do that, but oh, finally I can analyze the pen. I wasn't able to earlier. It didn't let me. What do we have down here? There's some sort of emblem here, look. But it isn't a Yume University one. It must belong to some other organization, I suppose. A business of some kind.
But that would seem to imply that the pen doesn't in fact belong to Ray.
Okay. Is there something else we can see? What if we open it up? If we take off the pen's lid. Okay, anything else on here? Okay. Now, let's unscrew the barrel, shall we? Okay. What are we finding? What are we gonna find? Is there something fun? This must be the little reservoir that holds the ink. Yes, you fill it by drawing ink from a bottle up through the nib. Is something wrong, Father? Just that there doesn't actually appear to be any ink in there, that's all. Oh yes, you're right. It's pretty much empty. Well, it could be on the verge of running out, I suppose. Okay. Anything else? I mean, we did have... What did we have initials earlier? We had... What did we have initials? We had initials in the first... In the Magnus McGilded case. Something was initialed, wasn't it? Was it a pen? Or was it something else? The RM initials are very clearly engraved in here. And the fact that Miss Brett was clinging to this pen in her dying moments is a very clear message too. Oh, it was a knife. That's what it wasn't. You call this a knife? This is not a knife. It's a wine. To identify her killer, you mean? I don't think there can be any doubt that this is a key piece of evidence in this case. Okay. Oh, and now we can also look at people again. She's considers her very much indebted. Oh, he is an authority on forensic medicine. It feels like he could be able to solve this case, couldn't he? Okay. Right, so we've examined... Go through the quarter... Okay, yeah. Okay, we've examined it now. It feels like the pen is relevant. Pulling a blade from without think could cause heavy bleeding. That's basic knowledge that any medical researcher with an ounce of sense ought to know. Can I also... No, I can't... Ah, okay. That's why I couldn't go. I have to... Ah, okay. This has changed also. Interesting. Very good. So I can actually analyze it. Raucous England returnees tell all. Is this the interview with you and Soseki-san? Looks as though it's quite an exchange. Yes, he became a little over-animated when he was talking about his time in England. The photographer managed to capture the moment his hand karate chopped me on the neck. I do hope you weren't hurt. I hope so too. Is there something else? Previously we had newspapers solve problems. This is the newspaper from Sosik-san. There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Exclusive. Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. Okay. Father, isn't that your lab?
What the? Let me see that. The poison's been stolen.
It's this morning's paper that Sosik-san gave us. Are you saying you didn't know? As embarrassing as that is for the head of the laboratory, I didn't. I've not heard any such thing.
Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned this information?
Come to think of it, there was no article mentioning this story in our paper this morning, was there? It's a highly toxic poison we've been working on the strictest... We've been working on? You've been developing poison? Mikotoba-san? What's up, Abijah? How's it going? I'm just uncovering very suspicious things here. I'd put Ray in charge of the project. Ray was in charge of poison and then... Oh, this is not looking good. She was managing it? If what's written here is true, it means that she tried to hide the theft from me. Uh-oh. This is looking bad. And moreover, the details were leaked somehow. I don't believe it. We need to read this article very carefully. Wait. So have you already read it? He says we need to read this very carefully. And then the question is, have we done it? The prosecution, doesn't need to know that. Yeah, Perry, go away. I think that's probably true. Okay, so we have the poison article as a separate piece of evidence. Okay. Hold on. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson. Okay. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. That's basic knowledge that any Well, but she is a medic. Oh, wait. Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking. And there is a very small amount of liquid. Somehow I feel like there's poison in the pen or something like that. I think that Jim Jams stole the poison and it's in this pen and she tried to attack Ray and Ray just defended herself. Even the small entering the body either via mouth or via a wound from a poison-laced blade would prove fatal in minutes. Okay, so clearly she was killed by a poison-laced blade. That is clear to me now. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, starting with impaired breathing and ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death. So there's the solution for the pupils contracting. Such symptoms would be suggestive of this toxin. It's apparently an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids and rumored to have been commissioned by the military. And they've put in charge a 16-year-old? That is definitely very questionable. So she has been stabbed with this poison blade. That much is clear. But now the question is, what do I present here? So I have the... Oh, wait, that's basic knowledge. Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. That's basic knowledge. So I guess it could cause heavy bleeding, but maybe the thing is that she was stabbed with the poison, and Ray would have specific knowledge on maybe how to counter that poison. So then I could present that article. There's no good reason why they would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Well, so I could present actually the poison thing. Did have a motive. Yeah, I think that seems the most likely thing now. I will present the poison article here.
Objection!
No, there is one possibility. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound. What?
Huh? The yokel not only has a poor grasp of the law, but is also a poor loser. Tell us then, what possibility do you think you've identified?
It's here, in this newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison having been stolen from a laboratory at the Imperial Yume University. What are you interrupting us for?
The victim perished from a stab wound. Poison has no relevance in this case.
But...
Prosecutor Ouchie, you will let the defense speak.
Yeah, thank you, Judge.
But a newspaper article, the court cannot rely on the kind of hearsay those wretched publications carry.
Counsel for the defense. I am going to need some tangible basis for your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper article mentioned affirms your assertion.
Your Excellency.
He's been silenced. Yes, of course. Thank you. Ray would never have done something to further endanger Miss Brett's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife from the victim's body is explained in the article, where it says, deadly in tiny quantities. Deadly in tiny... wait, what? Which one would it be? A deadly point being seen around the universe was stolen. Even the smallest amount entering body, either via the mouth or via a wound from a poison-laced blade, would prove fatal in minutes. Current methods cannot detect the new... Okay. So deadly in tiny quantities, I guess. The article reveals the following property about the poison in question. When the toxin enters the body on a knife laced with the poison, it's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes. Are you suggesting? If the knife used to attack Miss Bread was laced with this very poison, it would explain why the defendant, Membami-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible. Yes, the truth is... It was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body. What? Oh my god.
Objection! This is complete and utter nonsense!
Not at all. The defendant withdrew the knife blade from the victim's body, not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life. And the prosecution cannot deny the possibility.
The post-mortem report, the cause of death was hemorrhage. The word poison appears in the document.
Well, that's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold.
Oh, please! This is clear desperation! The reasons less breaking of wind!
Oh, the mic doesn't pick it up? Oh, am I too, maybe I'm too... I need to remove some of the filters. I think I'm too filtered out or something.
Poison has nothing whatsoever to do with this case, as I believe the defense is well aware. We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is at all reliable anyway. It's too hard-pitched.
In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead, You claim she suspected poisoning and took the potentially lethal decision to remove the blade. She must have had a strong reason for her suspicions then, or the argument makes no sense.
Exactly. Well put, Inspector. On what grounds did she do it, yokel?
Why did Ray suspect the stolen poison was involved? If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds.
What? You can't possibly...
From your expression, Counsel, it would appear those are not empty words. But naturally, as you stand in this courtroom as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence.
Yes, Your Excellency. I'm well aware of that. I've seen it many times, from my place at his side in the Old Bailey.
In that case, Counsel, you will present the proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the newspaper article? Well, this, because it...
Take that!
It's the autopsy. I would ask the court to refer to the notes section of the report because it says that the pupils have ended up very small. And that is also the same as in the description of the poison. Extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, was observed in the victim.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
Ah. Clearly, being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea, so please do tell me. Presumably, the fact that this condition of the victim was noted in the post-mortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death.
Well,
under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies. If there was extreme constriction instead, that's most certainly unusual, yes.
what are you doing, you yokel detective?
In the newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occur in minutes, ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death.
What?
If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice that the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes had constricted severely. Yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately, without doubt.
Grrr.
Prosecutor Ouchie, I think you'll agree. This is very compelling evidence.
You, yokel student, yokel professor.
I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defendant's actions.
No.
Eugene Mikotoba,
Yes, Your Excellency.
I believe you are best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense counsel's argument. You will tell the court the truth about the details reported in this newspaper, please.
It pains me to have to admit it, but I'm afraid I don't know.
You don't
No. The toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly, but I was unaware of any theft.
Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded?
No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say.
Listen to the bumbling academic. Unaware of the theft of secret state research from his own workplace until he reads of it in the newspaper.
I take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision.
Father. A pitiful situation for a university professor. You should have more control over your students, rather than allowing them off on killing sprees.
That's totally unfounded. Oh. Okay. None of this is Professor Mikotoba's fault. It's all my fault. Ray.
Mbami-san, you stand accused here. Outbursts like this will not be tolerated.
But it was me. I was the one who noticed that the poison we were developing had been stolen that day.
What?
So you knew. I'd been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that the professor and Soseki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper. That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was. Why didn't you let me know immediately? I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had somehow been taken. So I decided I'd try to get it back before anyone else found out. Because I had a very good idea who the thief was. Thief? You don't mean? Yes, of course. It was the dainty English woman.
Miss Jazalala.
That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on a stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable. I know it was you who stole the poison. Well now, whatever do you mean? And then she suddenly got to her feet before falling to her knees in front of me and then collapsing on the floor. That's when I saw the knife in her back. Couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes had shrunk to tiny pinpoints.
I don't believe it.
In other words, you realized that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison.
My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips while I'd been with her, which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body. On the blade of the knife in her back.
And that train of thought was what spurred you to withdraw the blade.
Yes. If the amount that had entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might have still had a chance. That's what I hoped. Really? I'm so sorry for staying silent all this time.
Your attempt to hide the truth of what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I have duly noted the courage with which you confessed in the end.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It's barely perceptible, but I do think the balance has shifted a little here in this courtroom now.
Your Excellency, do not be deceived. The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, Membami-san, if that is the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed.
And that explanation, my dear friends, shall happen on the next iteration of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles stream with Mark Takeshi Ota, because I have to call it an end right here. And that is, see that, a cliffhanger, because that is how you keep people coming back. Dun dun dun. That is how you have to do it. That's how you have to do the cliffhanger. Sometimes you're like, tune in next week to find out more what will happen on this stream. Dun, dun. Oh wait, I also will because sometimes I it crashes while I'm waiting to say goodbye. Hold on, we need to find where my next save has to be. Well, I'll just start on the top again. Why don't I? Save number 1. Yes. Because we are in Great Ace Attorney number 2 now. First time chat, Lavender Goulet. Thank you. Like, we will go back to the courtroom here. Look at that. Oh, and this one also, it's showing. Look at that. It was showing. Now it disappeared. Anyway, what a stream we... why are they... They're both so hidden here, aren't they? They have to move up a little bit. What a stream. How do I like the case so far? Well, it's been very exciting. It's very different playing Susato, isn't it? Although... somebody had noticed how my voice has changed for it to just be new. And I was like thinking about that also. And it's like, it makes sense because, I mean, she's trying to sound like more manly or something, right? So it makes sense for her to pitch it down a little bit. And then in the end, I think that makes it the easiest to just kind of pitch it at Dew's voice, doesn't it? Got bored, not enough Baroque. Oh, Balaroth. Come on. There's so many other interesting people, you know? So there's lots to explore. So very, very exciting to see where it goes. And seeing Susato become a lawyer and figuring out how to do all of this, right? So I'm very excited to see where it goes. And Ouchie is back. You know, we got the fan for Ouchie and everything. So all good. Good job with all the voice acting. Thank you so much, AIM Listens To, and thank you for the cheers and for continuing to support us on this journey. So I very much appreciate it. And thank you very much for everyone. So many lovely people of you who are continuing to join me on this wonderful journey. I hate the moon. What do you mean, Balaroth? Don't get the Moon Queen angry at us. We can't do it. We can't. The Moon Queen will be upset. But thank you ever so much, all of you. I have to go and to see my friend now who's hosting a little party, and I don't want to be running too late. I have amazing range, Ubecat Gaming. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. A little party, a little Oscar-themed party, where he always makes one dish for each Best Picture nomination, which is always he's a wonderful cook and does amazing food. So I do not want to miss out on all the amazing food before it's all being eaten. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for a lovely, lovely stream and all your participation and all your cheers, all your subs, all your following of the stuff. And thanks to my amazing mods, thanks to the lurkers, and for participating in my chats. And because I have to run, we're not gonna do a raid of anyone, but if you want to continue watching people, then you can. And if you want to have a restful day, then I hope you have that. If you want to have some sleep, then I hope you have that. Whatever your heart desires, I hope you achieve it. And while I cannot do any balloons, it's so sad that I can't do that today. Don't know why. Maybe it's just a matter of turning it off and on again. But I wish you all a good day. I'll be back for Wukong Wednesdays probably. And next week Sunday probably, and who knows, maybe there will be one in between. Follow me on the socials and stuff and you'll find out. Or something might happen. We don't know. We'll see. But those two are definitely in the books. So I'll see you all soon. And signing out, and I can do a heart even though it won't let me do it. So I'll see you all later. Peace. Bye.